Chapter 40. On Borlius's moon, Corin's image continued. I know the decision to leave me behind wasn't easy. Wedge's eyes narrowed. On Borlius's moon? How could he have known? Wait a minute. I want you to know I harbor no ill will concerning my abandonment. To prove this to you, I pried some Wiren's reserve away from Emtray, and a Reichkate should have finished baking by the time you land. Woohoo! Gavin's voice echoed through the comm. Wedge keyed his comm. Horn, if you aren't dead, you will be. Corin's image broke into laughter. I'm happy to see you too, Commander. Welcome home. Wedge sat back in his chair and held the half-full tumbler up so the light from the center of the recreation room made the amber liquid glow. Its chemical warmth, aided and abetted by seeing Corin alive and unhurt, had chased the chilly dread from his belly and melted the stress in his shoulders and neck. Putting his feet up on the table, he actually began to relax for the first time in conscious memory. In retrospect, Corin's message was rather funny. He watched his green-eyed lieutenant cut the warm Reichkate and hand it out to the other pilots in the squadron. They were all giddy with their success and his survival. Wedge knew they all had been as horrified as he had when the message began to play in their cockpits, but no one was more relieved than he had been when the truth of it was revealed to them. As jokes go, Corin, it was good. You'll pay for it, of course, but it was good. Wedge glanced sidelong at Tycho. I can't believe you let him send that message. The Alderaanian shrugged. The shocked expression on your face was even better than I imagined it would be. I won't forget that, Captain Selchu. Besides, I can't wait to see how you're going to get back at Corin. Tycho took a swallow of his lum. I trust you'll make it good. You can be assured of that. Wedge sipped a little more whiskey and let it sit on his tongue for a moment. Sucking air in through slightly parted lips let the crisp, woody aroma fill his head. Then he swallowed and smiled. Corin comes back from the dead, and I understand you were resurrected, too. 3 squints? Tycho nodded solemnly. 2 were at point-blank range. Emtray could have shot them. The 3rd was at range. Decent shot. Of course, the Alliance security team is a bit upset at having been detained in your quarters. No, they weren't very happy when we took them prisoner. His executive officer winced. The problem was we had a possible security leak, but explaining everything we would have had to explain would have made it impossible for us to get to Borlius in time to warn you, if that's what we needed to do. Easier to ask forgiveness than permission. Wedge chuckled. I was planning the same sort of thing for the return trip to Borlius. You got the security problem under control? I think so. Locking this thing down will mean a lot of time being spent with Emtray. Put Corin on it. Tycho shook his head. You. That's nastier than even I assumed you'd be. Well, leading a unit isn't a young man's game after all. Wedge swung his feet to the floor and set his tumbler on the table as Corin approached with 2 pieces of Reichkate. Smells good. Mirax made it. Corin handed the other piece to Tycho. Corellians use it for celebrations. Wedge hefted his piece of the sweet cake. Getting you back from Borlius is worthy of celebration, as is having the Alliance's hottest new pilot being a member of the Squadron. Corin looked surprised. Me? No. Wedge smiled past him at the man arriving late to the celebration. Congratulations, Bror Jace. The trio of kills you got on the interceptors following us out of the Pyria system put you at 22 kills. You beat Lieutenant Horn by 1. The Theferan beamed, his blue eyes alive with pride. Thank you, Commander. He glanced down for a second, then accepted a piece of the cake from Mirax. This is good news, and helps offset what I have just heard. Wedge set his cake down next to the glass of whiskey. And that is? The message waiting for me was from Thefera. My great uncle, our patriarch, is dying. The MDs give him 2 weeks at best. Even Bacta cannot cure old age. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Jace. Bror. Wedge glanced at his XO. Tycho, can you? No problem, Wedge. Tycho stood up. Compassion leave won't work, but if we send our pilot home on a recruiting run, I think the diplomatic corps will back us up. You'll be on your way as soon as you can pack your X-Wing, Mr. Jace. Thank you. Corin offered Bror his hand. I'm sorry to know your uncle is ill. I'm also sorry to lose you, but I'm not sorry about how well you did. Nor I about your performance. Bror pumped Corin's hand. I would give you another chance at such a contest, but I do not want even the slightest hint of division within this squadron. I concur. Corin nabbed a small piece of cake from the serving tray on the table and popped it into his mouth. Everyone followed Corin's lead, and as he chewed, just for a second, Wedge felt himself back on Yavin 4, catching a hasty last meal before he and his friends went off to attack the Death Star. He knew it wasn't the taste of the rice cake that brought the memory back. On Yavin 4, there had been no time and no ingredients to create something so indulgent. No, it's the sense of unity that takes me back. The core spirit, it was there before Rogue Squadron was ever formed. It was the squadron's soul, and it's still here. This is Rogue Squadron, not Reborn, just continuing as it should. I'd like to offer a toast, my friends, if I may. Wedge raised his glass, and the others joined him. To Rogue Squadron, to the friends we've lost, the battles we fought, and the utter fear our return will bring to our enemies. Epilogue. Curtin Lure dropped to one knee before he saw Nisard's life-size hologram. Please forgive my disturbing you, Madam Director, but you said you wanted to be informed immediately on any developments. She frowned impatiently at him. I have seen General Dericote's requisition request for more Gamorreans. Has there been a breakthrough? I am not certain. But you approved the request. Yes, Madam Director. Even though she was projecting her image from her tower office nearly 3 kilometers above and away from his cramped workspace, the distance did not insulate him from her ire. Somehow her eyes seemed to project venom through the holonet. You will forgive me, Madam Director, but General Dericote is still upset about the loss of his facility on Borlius. He said you promised him it would be returned to him if he completed his work within your parameters. And so it shall. The Alliance stewardship of Borlius will be of little consequence in the grand scheme of things. Isard's image stared hard at him. So, there is no breakthrough with Dericote? None to my knowledge, Madam Director. Then what would have prompted your call to me, Agent Lure? Our agent in Rogue Squadron has provided us with some useful information. Rogue Squadron will be moving to Borlius, and the base will become a major staging operation for a move coreward. Isard tapped her teeth with a fingernail. This was not unanticipated. It was also reported that the best of the new pilots, Bror Jace, will be returning to Thefera to visit his family. Lure reached back and pulled a datapad from his desk and glanced at it. Given the precarious balance of loyalists and rebel sympathizers on Thefera, it seems to me that having a hero of the rebellion visit will not be a good thing. Since his course of travel has been communicated to us, I have prepared orders for the interdictor cruiser Black Asp to intercept and destroy him. Very good thinking, Agent Lure. Isard nodded slowly, her eyes focusing distantly. Amend the orders to have him taken alive, if possible. I have a facility that is most useful in convincing ardent rebels they really should be on our side. I have room at Lusankia for this Jace. He will prove very useful in the future. I have the intercept set for a system where enough smuggling goes on that the Black Asp's presence makes sense. An increase in general interdiction activities will hide our foreknowledge of Jace's course. The ruler of Coruscant looked quizzically at him. Do you truly think so? I do not follow your meaning. Don't you think your Corran Horn will be suspicious? He thought for a moment, then bowed his head. He will be, but he is not so single-minded that he cannot be distracted. That concurs with my reading of his data file. She smiled slightly. But it would take information of sufficient import to distract him, yes? Yes, Madam Director. Good. She clasped her hands behind her back. I have let slip the information that you killed Gil Bastra. What? And it includes data that suggests you are, in fact, here on Imperial Center. Curtin's jaw dropped. He'd seen Horn angry more than once, and knew the man to be relentless in pursuit of those who had slain other members of Corsac. Horn had even found a way to capture his father's killer, the Trandoshan bounty hunter Bosk. Curtin had taken great delight in releasing Bosk, citing the Trandoshan lack of manual dexterity to explain why Hal Horn had been killed in a spray of blaster fire meant to kill the smuggler to whom he was speaking. Since Bosk was working under a valid Imperial warrant, Hal Horn's death was an unfortunate bit of collateral casualty. Madam Director, didn't you say the rogues would be coming here to Imperial Center? Indeed, I believe I did. Her smile grew. And I believe my prediction will be proven true. Then Horn will come here. And will be looking for you. Isard licked her lips. More distraction from his main mission for Lieutenant Horn, and more motivation for you to succeed in Rogue Squadron's destruction. In this case, I'm not sure those ends justify the means at all. I see, Madam Director. I'm sure you do, Agent Lure. Spare me future reports about General Derricote's tantrums. I want results, and I want them to be successful results. As you will it, Madam Director, he found himself saying in the darkness resulting from her termination of the communication. He rocked back and sat on the floor. For a half a second, he longed for a return to the days when he and Horn were adversaries at Corsac. They had hated each other, especially after the Bosk incident, but the tension had not yet become lethal. Then he realized he harbored no real fear of Corran Horn's retribution. His success would mean release from her clutches. If he knew that, of course, Horn would find a way to clone me so he could have the pleasure of killing me and forcing me to work for Yusan Isard forever. Yes, he could be that cruel, but he would hold himself back. Therein is his weakness. Curtin Lure grabbed the edge of his desk and pulled himself upright. Here on Imperial Center, in Isard's domain, I have neither the compunction nor need to restrain myself. Do come to Coruscant, Corran. Bring your friends and your hidden enemy with you. Imperial City is undoubtedly the last place you ever thought you'd visit, and I will do all I can to make certain it is the last place you visit. And that's the end of the novel. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Talk to you soon.